First of all, congratulations on Celebrations. There really isn't another show on the network like it or on television at all, but the concept to me really embodies everything that we love about the Hallmark channel, which is the heart of people. So, what about the show do you love the most?
You just said it. It's about celebrating people who deserve to have the attention and who are so full of heart. And it's everything that I think the audience loves about Hallmark Channel movies, the goodness, the uplifting messages, finding that in a real life way in this unscripted show. And I just had such a blast doing it. It was incredible to find so many people in the world who are doing amazing things and like having a true impact in their communities and getting to celebrate them with an awesome surprise party that's tailored, for them, their favorites. It was an awesome experience.
Now, we're used to seeing you in film and television and then, doing your interviews and a few different specials. But as you mentioned, this is really a segue into the unscripted world for Hallmark. So how has that transition been for you?
It was a challenging transition. I've never done unscripted before, and I'm used to a script and a character. And to be myself and to not have a script was a completely different experience. But I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. I love hearing people's stories. And I got to do that in this show. And, I don't actually meet the hero until the celebration. So we spend 3 days speaking to their family members and friends and colleagues and people that have been directly impacted by their work that they're doing. And it was incredibly inspiring and uplifting. And I just went home from work every day feeling like I was just so thankful for this show.
Now, how involved are you in the entire show as far as the selection process? Do you have any hand in choosing any of the heroes that we see highlighted this season?
I do. Yeah. I mean, it's a group decision. A lot of people weigh in. And so it's definitely a group decision. But I was really proud of the fact that everyone that we honor is just an outstanding human being. And you see that really reflected when we have conversations with people that they have impacted the lives of, and it's just amazing to me how selfless all of them were. And, most of them don't really want to have the spotlight shine on them. But for that party and that day, that moment in time, it was so nice to walk in. And when I saw our heroes walk in every time and be surprised and they'd realize, oh, wait a second, I'm not here for this interview, for this hero documentary. I'm here for this surprise party and it's for me. And the look on their face when they looked around and saw their loved ones and friends, it was just really touching.
Now, I know all of them are probably touching and beautiful and to see the outcome, but do you have a moment that was the most impactful for you filming this season?
Um, there were so many. I mean, every time we surprised a hero, I would get teary-eyed because it was just such a beautiful and poignant moment. I think there was one in particular, and I won't say who, but where she told her story and you realize that she had overcome quite a bit to get where she is and how much healing she found in doing work for other people and being of service to other people. I found that particularly touching. All of our heroes, they just spread this kindness and goodness, and it just has this ripple effect in the world. And I hope the audience sees that and is inspired by that.
Now, you've become a staple on the Hallmark Network, specifically for the Christmas movies. So, thinking back to the beginning of your partnership with the network, what did you have in mind going into it? Did you think that you would be here all these years and all these projects later?
Oh my goodness. I had no idea when I did my first Hallmark movie, Elevator Girl, many years ago, that I'd be sitting here talking about now an unscripted show and also having just finished my 40th Hallmark movie. They've all meant so much to me. And, people say that the movies bring them joy. I hope people realize how much joy they brought to my life. I love telling these stories. I think they're all very relatable, and we hope to create characters that our audience can see themselves in and to tell stories about the human heart and what it means to be a part of community. I just hope that we provide that, space for people to sit down and just kind of have that exhale and watch something that's uplifting.
Now, as someone who's obsessed with all things Hallmark and all things Christmas, a lot of people are always like, how can you watch like the same storyline over and over again? Like it's this big town city girl goes back to her small town and the mall Santa Claus sets her up with her ex-boyfriend or whatever the case may be. But I don't care how predictable people say that the movies are. There's something that keeps us drawn to them. So as someone who's in the movies and who has been working on these movies for so long, what about them do you feel makes the audience drawn into them?
Especially with the Christmas movies, I think it is the traditions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, that's what I get drawn into in the scripts. You know, when I read a lot of different scripts and story ideas, and I'm most drawn and attracted to the ones that remind me of some of my Christmas memories and bring back that nostalgia. You know, it's such a good feeling. Some of my best memories growing up in my childhood were around the holidays. And when we get to infuse the movie with that feeling, you know, I think that's what resonates with me personally. And then in the non-holiday ones, it's really just about human beings going through life and encountering situations and having to make decisions and finding themselves at crossroads that we all find ourselves in, you know, situations we all find ourselves in. And I think that when you can kind of see part of your own life maybe reflected in a character, it's kind of comforting.
Now, talk to us a little bit about how your relationship with the network has grown, because you mentioned that you just hit your 40th movie. And from what I can recall, you're now an EP on several projects as well.
Yeah, it's been a real joy, honestly, that Hallmark has allowed us to wear many different hats, and from producing the movies to, you know, helping develop the films. Like, I love that process of development and really getting to dig into a character and, you know, looking at, okay, what's the most interesting way to tell this version of this story? And I've worked with incredible people. I mean, making a movie is such a collaboration, from the directors to the writers, producers, the entire crew. I mean, it takes everyone to make this happen. And I just love going to work and collaborating with creative people and telling the best story that we can.
Now, what about Hallmark makes you stay? Because we've seen you on major movies, major television projects, and it seems like Hallmark is where you seem the happiest, or like you personally just thrive there.
Yeah, I mean, the stories that we tell are things that really do speak to my heart, you know, whether they be a Christmas movie or a wedding movie or falling in love. It's just at the heart of the movie. It's about human connection. And that's what speaks to me and what resonates with me. And I love getting to be a part of stories that bring some joy to people's lives.
Now, we're Collider, so we cannot let you go without talking about Mean Girls, obviously. So it's been a while since the movie has premiered, and there's been so many things that's come out of it. You have merchandise, you had another movie, you have a Broadway play, which is crazy. Can you talk to us a little bit about the cultural phenomenon and the impact that it's had so many years and even a generation later? And why do you feel as if the film is such a cult classic?
I think people are drawn to that movie because it resonates, because there's so many universal themes in that movie, whether you're in high school or not. And, you know, as whenever I'm a part of something, you hope it's going to be well received. So for the movie to be as loved as it is, and to people, for it to have had the life that it's had and people be talking about it the way they do, it's really fun to be a part of. Gretchen was such a fun character to play, and you know, will forever be something I treasure.
Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you. I
You
cannot wait
too.
for the rest of celebrations. Good luck on everything, and I'll be tuning in for Countdown
Thank
to Christmas
you. Thank you
always.
so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.